there, Amy here from Knit Collage, and I am back on YouTube for a video all about the things that I have been knitting lately. So I'm going to show you some of the projects I finished in 2024 that were just my favorite, like the highlights, my knitting highlights of 2024, although I knit many more things that I can show you in a reasonable amount of time in 2024. And then I'm going to show you some of the projects I'm working on right now, some of our new spring yarns that are coming in about a month, and then talk about the projects I have planned for the future and share a couple books I'm really excited and into. So welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy to be sharing about the things I love. I hope it sparks some inspiration or creativity within you to create your own project that you're really excited about. So let's hop to it. First up, I am going to start with the sweater that I'm wearing. This is the Walking on Sunshine sweater by Shawl. She's a team member here at Knit Collage, and it is our daisy chain yarn. So you can see that there's all these daisies in the yarn. This is a new color we released in the fall, and we actually ran this with or as part of our fall knit along, and I love it. I love the bell sleeve. It's so cozy. It's freezing today, and it feels so good. So this yarn and these kits during the fall, they sold out really quickly. We didn't have enough yarn. So we're probably going to bring it back either for the next knit along if it gets a lot of votes in the design survey, or just as a standalone kit. So it will be coming. And I just want to point out one thing, because I have two of these that I made. This is the one I made that's a size 1. So this is the smallest size. It's pretty tight and cozy on me. I like it, but I like my other one better that's a size 2 and it's bigger. So I wanted to show you that one too. And I think this colorway is called Secret Garden. I think that's the name of this colorway. So that's that one. I really love it. I pulled it out after, I hadn't worn it all winter. I've been wearing this one a ton, and I think you'll be able to see why. Well, also it's rainbow, which is a favorite for me. So here is the one that I knit in Grand Prismatic. It's just got a more cozy, it's oversized, but it's not like too oversized, and you can see all the daisies in the yarn. Oh my gosh, I really, really love this one. There's something about the sleeve length and the body that just feels really cozy. And I've truly been living in this sweater all winter long. So I'm excited to bring it back in the spring, and hopefully folks would be up for knitting it again. I think really it's all about the yarn in this sweater. The style is pretty basic. It's very easy to customize because it's top down and it's a raglan, so you can go with a thinner sleeve that just decreases and matches how your arm tapers in towards the wrist and the hand. You also can customize the body length. So it's not a super short body length, but it's not exactly long either. So it's not cropped, it's not long, it's just sort of like that perfect body length, but you can customize it completely to be whatever you want because it's top down. That's really easy to do. So this is the Walking on Sunshine sweater. Now let's dive into what's next. What do I have next? Okay. So I created a blog post all about Le Triangle Granny Shawl, which I am going to link below. Now, which side is the right side? There we go. I think that's the right side. This is my Le Triangle Granny Shawl. The pattern is by La Bien-Aimée, and you can see it is very, very big. I actually made mine, I think I might have made it a bit bigger than the pattern called for. And I used these beautiful mini skeins that I received as a gift from the team here at Knit Collage a few years ago from Chelsea Yarns. They were part of her après-ski advent that she did. And all I can say is that these are the most beautiful yarns. They are so beautiful. It was so much fun to work with them. And then they all just really went together so well. So I didn't think too much about mixing the colors together, like, because they all just worked really well together. So this is that shawl, and it was one of my favorites. I really liked crocheting it because it was so simple. I didn't have to think much about it. The pattern was really easy. And this is, I believe it's a fingering weight yarn. So if you have random one skeins, I do this. I collect like random one skein sock yarns or fingering weight yarns. This pattern would be perfect for it. So I'm a fan of that. But this is what it led to. It led me to try this pattern in our yarns, and this is what ensued. So this is the chunkier weight version of this shawl, and we have this blog post I mentioned already where I actually list out the yardage, the approximate yardage. It's either yardage or weight that you need per each color or each stripe. So if you wanted to do this and if you wanted to check and see if you have enough yarn, you absolutely could, which is kind of fun. So you can wear it this way. Of course, I kind of like it. How have I been wearing it? I've been wearing it more like this, like wearing it like this with a shawl pin here. So it sort of feels like it's off to the side. Yeah, it feels very statement. I feel like it goes perfectly with I have a faux fur, like fleece ivory jacket, and I love the way it looks like with that. It just makes me really happy, and there's something so, I don't know if it's 70s about the crochet. There's something to me that feels really like vintage, nostalgic 70s. Maybe it's the rainbow. I don't know, but I absolutely love this. If I had all the time in the world, I would make another one with even more colors, but there's just too many things to make. So that's that. Now let's move on to a few more of my favorite projects from 2024. Those ones I think I finished up in November. This next sweater I finished well before that. I think I finished this last spring, so it would have been spring 2024. So this is the Stay Cozy pattern by Shaina Billow. It's a V-neck pattern, and it is really, really cozy. It's very oversized and loose. I can't remember which size I knit. I think I'm usually a size 2, and I think I probably am over engaged. So my gauge might be a little bit big. So it's pretty oversized on me, but I am living in this. I just love it so much. And that really is the pattern, but it's also all about the yarn. So these are the yarns that I used. This one, okay, this is Summer Camp Boucle DK All Day. So Summer Camp Fibers, Boucle All Day, Summit Turquoise is this one. And then I used Dream Surrey Single Ply in Palooza colorway. So I really did go for like the rainbow with the blue. And you can see the pops of orange and pink throughout, which are kind of in this yarn, but not a ton, more in this yarn. And I just think they worked so well together. And I have to give Katie, the indie dyer who creates these beautiful yarns, a big shout out, because she helped me put this kit for this pattern together at Cake Palooza. This would have been, I guess, 2023, so quite a long time ago. And of course, it took me a while to knit it, but I love it. I wear it a lot when I travel because it's really cozy and it's a good layering piece. Like I can put a turtleneck underneath, and when I travel, I always want to be able to control my temperature very easily, and it's nice and cozy. It feels sweatshirty, so it's one of my favorite travel knits, and I would absolutely knit this pattern again. I might knit it in a size smaller just to see like if I like that. I think it'd still be pretty big and cozy on me in a size smaller or a smaller needle size, but I love it. I love the sleeve. I couldn't love it anymore. The only thing I wanted to say about this is that the pattern is written flat. So you knit the front and then you knit the back, you seam them, or yeah, basically that's how it's written. And it's bottom up, and I ended up knitting this in the round. So Really easy modification to make, but it just saved me the time of seaming. And also I don't like to purl that much. I'm a big fan of knitting in the round. So really simple modification to the pattern that I made there. So that's my Stay Cozy in my beautiful summer camp blue fibers. Oh my God, it makes me, yeah, it makes me a little, I can't even tell you how happy this sweater makes me. Okay. I don't know when I finished this sweater, but I did finish it in 2024 at some point. It is my Sunbeam striped cardigan. I think we ran this last spring knit along, and I made it in a rainbow of colors. So it's a real statement sweater here. We did put it on the model for a photo shoot, and it looks, yeah, it looks so good on her. I knit the sleeves a bit too long, and I do this every time I knit this pattern because it's one of those patterns where it's like you start at the cuff and you knit it this way, and you're supposed to knit a certain number of inches. And every single time I knit this pattern, I knit over that set number of inches, but I didn't want to mess with my stripe layout, and I guess I was too lazy to go back. I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna wing it. So I've been rolling the cuffs on this, but they are a bit big. This is the bigger sleeve option. We have a tapered sleeve option for this pattern, and then a, I don't know what you would call this sleeve, but it's got just a big increase here. So skinny cuff and then a big increase. So I might try the other sleeve if I were to do it again. They are pretty big. I might go down a size. It is a bit oversized on me, but overall very cozy and extremely statement, and using all these stash yarns felt really good. Yeah, and I wanted to do a rainbow, but a more muted rainbow without a ton of pink, which I tend to do. If you were to see this, this is kind of like where I usually go with more of this bubblegum pink. So I wanted this to feel a bit more muted. There's still a little pink, but you have more like brown, blue, frosty green, and olive in here. And that's kind of the direction I wanted to go. So that is my Sunbeam stripe. It is one of my favorites, but that said, I haven't been wearing it a ton, and that needs to change. I need to bring it out of the closet and into the day-to-day, because I have a feeling I would get a lot of compliments if I wear it out in public somewhere. All right, so moving right along, I think I have like 2 or 3 more finished sweaters to show you before I move on. This is my Easy Street Raglan sweater. So I have shared about the Moondrake collab we did, the yarn collab we did. I don't know, I guess it would have been in August that we did that, and I know I created a video about that. This is one of the sweaters I've been living in this fall, and that's why one of the reasons why I wanted to show it to you. This is that Moondrake yarn. So we sent them our Spun Cloud Light yarn, and they dyed it this really fun ultraviolet rainbow color. It just feels very me. It's like that neon sherbet rainbow vibe. I love it. It's a nice fitted sweater. I wear it with overalls a lot. I wear it with jeans a lot. It feels like an instant outfit without having to think too much. It's lightweight, so it's just really easy to layer, and I love it. It brings me quite a lot of joy, actually, this sweater and this yarn. And we do have some left. I think we have a teeny amount left in the Electric Seahorse colorway, which is the blue, green, purple colorway. We have a little bit more left in this colorway, but then once it's gone forever. We're not gonna bring it back. So if you're interested in grabbing that, I would encourage you to do it. I think it's so unique and special. Okay, so let's talk about shawls, and then I'll go back to a couple other sweaters that I have to show you. So we have Bonfire Shawl Challenge happening right now. And that is where, as a community, we knit the Bonfire shawl together over the course of 2 weeks. So leading up to this challenge, this 2-week challenge, I wanted to refresh myself with a pattern. And I actually created a new video course for this for this pattern because it had been, I think it had been 5 or maybe even more years since I first filmed that video course, and I've become a lot better as a teacher, so I wanted to redo it. So I redid it, and I knit 2 of these. I have one in this colorway, Bodacious Pink and Bouquet, and I have another one that's neon, that's blocking right now. I can show you the next time I do one of these videos. But I really love this shawl. It is one of my absolute favorites. I think it's just such a, like, I don't know, tried and true knit collage shawl pattern, or knit collage pattern in general, that is really fun to use as a blank canvas or template to create your own shawl. There's not a lot of things you can do wrong here. Like, the gauge is important, but not crucially important. You can mix lots of different yarns together, and the drape is beautiful because of the way the increases are done. You get these really nice curly cues at either end, and that's the crescent shape, which is my favorite shawl shape, I think. I just adore it. So this is one of the ones I finished, and this pattern probably took me, I think it took me like 5 or 6 hours to knit this. It was so fast, and I know the first time I knit this, whenever it was 5 or so years ago, it took me a lot longer. So it's exciting to look back and say, oh my gosh, I'm knitting faster now. So that's that one. And let me show you the lightweight version. So we also have a new class that I just filmed last week for the lightweight version of this shawl. And this is the lightweight version. So it's in our Serenity yarn, 2 different colors, and then Wildflower yarn for the contrast colors. And it's a smaller needle. It's a size 13 needle as opposed to a 17 for the other one that I just showed you. But the gauge is loose for these yarns. It feels open and airy. It's very drapey. It's very cozy. It has that same beautiful crescent shape with the picot edge border. And I love it. I love it a lot. So that's this one. And then I'm working on one right now. So as we speak, we're on day 6 of the challenge. And I am, of course, knitting one along with the participants. And this one, I wanted to really go rogue. I wanted to do something that wasn't a knit collage kit because it's part of the challenge and I'm not teaching. I have a little more freedom to do what I want. So this is what I have so far. I've got a lot of ends to weave in, but this is what I've got so far. I am making it more oversized. So it's the original chunkier version, but it's more oversized. And I've added in more stockinette, more main color rows in between the contrast colors. So I'm going for more of a blanket, or I think it's Stephen West who coined this term, Shlanket, which is a cross between a blanket and a shawl. I'm going for more of that feeling here. So stay tuned. This is whipping up fast and it's a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see it come together. I hope to finish it in the next week. So I wanted to talk about my contrast colors because they're really, really, really cool. So this yarn right here and the pink yarn that was in the shawl is from Little Fern Fibers. And I gotta give Little Fern Fibers a big shout out because oh my gosh, it was so cool. So she gifted me this yarn, and how it worked is I sent her a bag of my scraps, my ends and my teeny little scraps of yarn that I collected for maybe a month, but it was a huge bag. It was like a huge Ziploc gallon bag of yarn ends. And then she spun all of these from those ends. So you can see, actually, if you look closely, a lot of our yarns are in there. You can really see the wildflower yarns, like this is Blossom Wildflower, this is Iris, this is Reflection Pool. So it's really cool. I am knitting a yarn that is all of my scraps spun into a yarn. It's just like really meta, right? It's super cool. So I've got 4 or 5 of these, and I'm putting them into the shawl for the contrast colors. It just felt like the perfect pattern to use these little mini skeins. And then I'm also using this beautiful yarn from She Is Marguerite, and I gotta give Leanna a shout out here too. She's the creator of She Is Marguerite, and she creates these beautiful hand spun yarns. This one has so much going on in it, and I'm really excited. I've been searching for the perfect project for it, and I think, like, the pattern calls for 5 different contrast color rows. I'm thinking I will do 10 at a minimum, and then we'll see how long the width is there, and I might keep going depending on if I have yarn left or not. But I've been searching for the pattern to use for these, and I'm really excited about this. So yeah, really fun. I'm hoping to finish within the shawl time period of 2 weeks. I think I can do it. It's whipping up really fast. Okay, so the next thing I thought would be fun to show you are all my Faye Fringe mini bags, because when I look back at 2024, I really wanted to show you some of my most loved projects, and this was one of my most loved projects. So this is my Faye Fringe mini. This is based on Anna Scala's original Faye Fringe bag, which I love, but I use the Faye Fringe bag minis more as a clutch when I'm going out. So this is the first one I knit, and we do have the pattern and the kits on the site. It uses, really, you could use a mini skein sampler kit of ours, but you could use any scraps. I really love our waterfall yarn mixed in. I don't know why, I just think that looks really cool in there. So this was the first one I knit, and this was the second one I knit. This is very much when I say, this is the normal rainbow I go for, this is the normal rainbow I go for. They take about 3 hours, maybe 2-3 hours. This is the next one I knit. I might give some of these. This is my like mustard pink one. This is very me. And then this is the blue-green one I knit. It's also very cute. I haven't used either of these ones, but I just think they're so cute for your phone and like a small wallet, lipstick, just perfect. So I love those. Those have like brought me a lot of joy this year. Just they feel like candy when you knit them, and they're really fun. Each one is kind of like an experiment in color and texture. So it's very, yeah, it's very fun to make those. All right, so let me show you a couple more things. All right, I have one sweater that I'm very excited to show you, which is my Enchanted Forest. So I knit 2 Enchanted Forest sweaters. The first was for the knit along, and it was according to the pattern exactly. I'll put a picture of that one in. Statement turtleneck, and we paired it with a sequin skirt for the photo shoot. I ended up wearing it to a holiday party with a sequin skirt. It was really fun. I got a lot of compliments, and I love that sweater. However, the one I am really into and I've been wearing nonstop is my neutral version. So I also knit this in neutrals, which is inspired by a fall knit along participant and a creative knitter, Liz, who had knit one really similar to this colorway. And so when I saw hers, I was like, oh, I gotta do it. So this is it, and I've been living in it, like truly living in it. I made some modifications for the neckline, and I have notes on that. If you're interested, I can, yeah, I could email you. I could put them in the comments if you're interested to know the neckline mods I did. I just brought the neck in a bit and then picked up less stitches along the neckline. That was really it. But the really special part of this sweater is the snowflake yarn. It is a yarn that Jake of Ken Yarn, his company used to be named Ken Yarn, died for us when he was doing a collab with us many years ago, and we never ended up putting this yarn color into production. I wish we had, because it's so pretty and it makes me so happy. I'm very into brown right now for whatever reason, so I love it. And yeah, it's really beautiful, but it was really just a one-off skein, so I don't have any more. But this sweater is our Serenity, and it's in parchment. You can see I ended up using all stash. So I have two different dye lots here. You can kind of see it. Yeah, you can see it pretty clearly. Actually, I have two different dye lots that I've used. I was on a mission to just use up my stash and not get extra yarn from our warehouse. I don't know about anybody else, but I find that so satisfying, and it sort of already has a patchwork feel with the contrast color here. So I just kind of went with it. And I think unless you're looking really hard, well, now it looks a little glaring. I think in this light, it looks even more glaring, but it doesn't bother me. I still love it. So this one I've been living in, so cozy. Okay, now let's get to a few projects that I've been working on for spring and some whips I have. So spring is coming up, it's right around the corner, and that means some new yarns for us, although we are out of stock of a lot of yarns. We have more yarns coming in soon, but also we have our spring yarns and new spring yarns. So one of them is going to be this new yarn called Mixtape, and I'll show you what the full skeins look like in just a sec. But this is a sweater I just finished. It might look a little weird with my shirt. It's gonna definitely clash with this shirt underneath, but hopefully you'll get the idea. This yarn it's our Serenity and Spun Cloud and Wildflower all mixed together in one skein. And it is all one yarn, even though you can see here, it doesn't look like one yarn, right? It kind of looks like stripes. It's so cool. I love this pattern. It is my favorite thing for spring. It has to make it to the knit along. I hope everybody else likes it because I freaking love it. I'm so excited to wear it. Like, I don't know. I have a trip coming up. I'm going to wear it. I think every day of the trip. I just don't want to ruin the sample or spill something on the sample while I travel, which is, let's face it, that's a potential. So this is this sweater. It's knit top down, so it's really easy to customize. There's a simple split hem. It's a drop shoulder. I think this is I think the size 2. So might be interested in making the size 1 later down the road, but I like an oversized sweater, so I'm loving it. And let me show you the other version of this pattern. So this pattern is going to have many options for you to customize it. You will be able to do the scoop neck like I just showed you, long sleeves like this sample, or a mock neck and a mock neck and short sleeve, or no sleeve, I should say, sleeveless. So I think this is the right way. I could be wrong, but I think this is the right way. I might have it wrong in any case. So I can flip it if I need to. It looks right, actually. So this is the other version of it. So you have the option to make the mock neck. If you wanted to do mock neck plus long sleeves, you absolutely could do that. Or you could do scoop neck plus sleeveless. So it's totally up to you. And I love patterns that give you that option to customize how you want, right? And just let you decide and mix and match the elements. So it's going to be a lot of fun. This is, I think this colorway is called Wild Child. I could be wrong, but this one is the rainbow version that just has double the amount of colors and yarns versus the other colorways. So kind of fun thing there. And yeah, as is evident by all of these projects, I like a rainbow. Okay, let me show you these yarns now. So this is that Mixtape yarn, and this is the colorway. That is this sweater. So this is how it knits up. And I think this is a US 11 or a 13 needle, so pretty chunky. And I do like it like a little looser and more breathable. But this is what it looks like in skein form. This is what the colorway looks like of the sweater I was just wearing. I think this one looks very leopardy to me, which is, but I don't know, a more hippie version of a leopard, which is I think why I like it so much. This blue colorway, I can't remember the color name, but love a good blue. And then we have a nice jewel tone combo. And this one I believe is called Alchemy. and it's more muted and neutral. I really like this one too. I'm liking all the reds, the burnt orange, there's charcoal in there, neutral ivory. It's really good. So that is the Mixtape yarn. Now we've got other things coming in and I can share more about those later, but that's the really exciting new yarn. There's one neutral color that I haven't shared, I don't have a skein of here, that we have coming into that's just all neutrals. So it'll be part of the Mixtape yarn collection. Okay, one more sweater, maybe two more sweaters. Let me show you what I have next. Okay, this is a sweater for spring that I actually can't take credit for knitting because I asked a sample knitter to make this for me. I did not have time to get it done before our photo shoot, but I did add the needle felting. So again, this one doesn't look great with my turtleneck, but hopefully everybody can get the idea. This is our Spun Cloud Light yarn. The pattern was really tailored after the Everyday Yay pattern, if you're familiar with that, which is in our regular Spun Cloud yarn, a chunkier gauge. It's just a simple top-down raglan cardigan. It's lightweight and it has needle felting on it. So this is all needle felted by me, and I'm definitely gonna add more. I kind of ran out of time before the photo shoot, but I'm planning to add a bunch more to it. I'm sort of imagining it like flower tattoos all over the sweater. So imagine that with more of them. So we have needle felting kits coming for spring, and I'm really excited about this. This is another one that I hope makes it into the spring knit along because I think it would be so fun to teach needle felting and to see what all of you create with this as your material, your tool. It'd be really fun and something new that we've never done. So that's that. I am planning to needle felt on a few other patterns to see how we like it and throw those into our spring knit along design survey. And if folks are new here, every knit along season, which we do twice a year, we do a survey where all of you, anybody, can vote on what we knit in our knit along. And a knit along is just a community learning and making event. And we choose what we make based on popular vote. And it's typically 4 to 8 designs. So it's typically like 4 main designs and 3 or 4 bonus designs. And the bonus designs this time around may be ones we've done from previous years that we bring back, like the Walking on Sunshine that I just showed you. So one thing I really want to do is I want to needle felt, like I want a constellation night sky needle felted situation. I'm thinking for Court of Thorn and Roses fans, like a night court theme. So it's just going to be shooting stars. I don't know if I'm going to have I don't know what it's going to be like, but I want it to have a kind of like witchy night sky vibe to it. So stay tuned for that. I hope I can make that happen. This is that pattern. I really love these buttons. I got these at VKL and they're from a maker called Of June. I think they're so cool. They're covered fabric buttons that I believe are made from vintage fabrics. So really, really cool element with the needle felting. So yeah, and the needle felting kits have, I think they have 16 different fiber colors. So you've got a lot to choose from in there. You can do whatever you want. Obviously I went bright. You don't have to do that. Okay, so that's this cardigan. We don't have a name for it yet. So if you have a name idea, please let me know. All right. Next, I have my Alpine Bloom things that I've made / I'm still working on that I'm excited to show you. So I knit the Alpine Bloom hat. When did I knit this? Last March, a year ago. And it is the Barrett Wool Co. kit. And I don't know if they have these still available on their site. This was recommended to me by Laurel, who used to work with us and has designed many of our patterns. I love this hat. I wear it all the time. I love it. You know, I love flowers. I guess that's probably pretty obvious. So just a hat like this with flowers in a really bright color, just makes me so happy. I love it. I would 100% knit this again. And I couldn't love it anymore. It's so good. I somehow got a hole in it that I need to mend. So I'm not happy about that. But this hat pattern, oh my gosh, it's so good. So the next thing is my Alpine Bloom sweater. So I started this in October at some point. I picked up the yarn at Rhinebeck. It is yarn by a hand spinner called Hello Mellow Handmade. I'll show you the label in a sec. And this is it. So I decided to go extremely bright. Not just a little bright, like really bright. That's the label. And this is limited edition, small batch yarn, milled in New York. Okay, so I think it's not hand spun, it's hand dyed. Cool. It's 400 yards of fingering weight yarn. So I have knit this entire sweater. This is size 2, I think. In this much, I have this much left, which is bananas, right? So almost a full skein. So I'm doing the Alpine Bloom and I added sleeves. So it's got a lace detail at the top. I think there's a different version of this pattern that's a more fall version or autumn version. I'm not sure what it's called. This is actually the spring version with the lace at the top. And I wanted to add sleeves. I think I'm just gonna wear it more with long sleeves. It was a blast to knit. I really enjoyed knitting it. Every time I do color work, I really challenge myself to hold one strand of yarn in my right hand and one in my left. And my color work up top is a bit tighter and it gets looser as I go down here. And I think just over the course of knitting this, my gauge loosened up and I got better at knitting color work. So it was really fun, a really, really good exercise for me to knit this. Now I'm knitting this on a size 3. I'm not sure what the pattern calls for, but I'm sure it's a bigger needle. I knit very, very loosely. Knitting on a size 3 for me isn't my happy place. Like it's just not, I don't love it. So the sleeves are taking me forever. That sleeve island, that is very real for me, but I am motivated to finish because I really love how bright and happy it is. Like it's just really bright and happy. And I have a work trip coming up that I'd love to be able to wear this on. It makes me really happy. So this is what the yarn looks like. And really what attracted me to it, it's no big surprise, it's these colors. They're just so bright. I could see myself doing a hat with leftover of this yarn too, and maybe gifting it. I think that could be really, really fun. So that's that. I think that's the last sweater I have to show you. Maybe I'll just keep it on. Why not? I'll keep it on while I finish up here. So I have another whip I wanted to show you that I am actually ripping out. This is it. It is the Pope Basic Yoke Mohair sweater. And it is, I don't know if this is coming out super neon pastel yellow, but in real life, it is a very bright pastel yellow. It is a chunky mohair and it is freaking to die for. It's amazing. This is by Lily Loops. And all of this information I'm going to put below in case folks want. So I decided to rip out. It is too big. I went with the second size. My gauge might be slightly off and it's just too big. I want it to be more fitted. So I'm going to rip it out and redo it. The good thing is it did not take me long to knit because it's all stockinette. And I'm really excited to be trying one of Pope's patterns because I love her patterns. They look very challenging. Many of them include lace, color work, beading, or cables all in one. And so I would like to try one of her patterns. And this is sort of my way of dipping my toe into her patterns without going full force. So what size fits me? How do they read? How do they work? So I'm getting my arms around that, and then maybe at some point I'll feel ready to dive into one of her more challenging patterns. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening there. Now let's see. I have one other whip that I thought would be fun to show you. I am planning to make the Larkin baby sweater for my son's woodshop teacher at school. She is so cool, and she really appreciate, when you meet those people who would really appreciate a handmade gift, she is one of those. So I love this Larkin baby sweater by Park and Knit. I've knitted a bunch for friends, for my own kids, and I love it because you can use any mix of yarns, and she gives you formulas like 4 strands of fingering or 1 worsted, 1 fingering. So you can use up tons of scraps of yarn, and it's really, really a cute sweater. The neck is very stretchy. My son Bear wore his for a whole year. It was just the best. So I'm deciding between 2 colorways, and I have to swatch to see what works. So I'm deciding between this. She likes, I feel like she's a neutral person, so I kind of wanted to go neutral. I got this Mano skein at VKL, Vogue Knitting Live, with her specifically in mind. So I'm thinking about going with this because I did, of course, get that for her. However, I also have this beautiful skein of Spin Cycle yarn that was gifted to me by Melanie on the team here. And I was thinking would be so fun to mix with these camellia fiber yarns in this kind of like evergreen, really beautiful evergreen color. So I think for me, like, this is more appealing. Is that a better way to show it? This is more appealing to me, but I'm kind of like, would she like this better? Is that more her vibe? I'm not sure. I wish I had time to make 2. This baby is coming pretty soon, so I'm definitely only gonna make 1. But that is what I am thinking about. All right, so if you feel strongly, let me know. I'll probably swatch both. I'm gonna wind yarn for both, swatch both, and see which one I like based on the swatches. I thought it'd be fun to share a final thing. In some of the past videos I've done, I've shared a tool. I don't have any like light bulb amazing tools to share with you right now, but I have 2 books that I'm really excited about. So Pia on our team suggested this book a while ago, and it's Charts for Colorwork Knitting by Alice Starmore. And it's all just knitting charts. I like, as a designer, as a creative, I find this is so inspiring. It just makes me want to swatch and swatch and swatch. Like, if I could spend all day with my yarn and my stash just looking at this and dreaming up pattern ideas, I would be happy. It's really, really cool. I knew I had to have it, but I'm sure libraries have it as well. And the next one is, I don't knit socks. I've knit socks once in my life, but there was something about this book and the way it looked like candy, kind of like those Faye Fringe bags, that really drew me to it, and I did a late night purchase. So I am thinking about these colorwork socks, which have snowflakes on them, and I'm imagining them with my brown Arizona Birkenstocks. I just think they're so cute. I'm sure I have yarn in my stash to make that happen. And a colorwork sock feels like a really fun challenge, like something I've never done. It kind of keep me going with the colorwork momentum I have. What intimidates me is how long it would take. So if there are colorwork sock knitters out there, what would I be getting myself into? Because if this is going to take forever, it might be a no-go for me. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know, but I'm really excited to dive into that, and I'd love to make one of the patterns in that book. I just love her photography. I love her colors. It's called The Sock Project by Summer Lee. I should have said that. And they're just so pretty. They're like candy. So I'm really excited about that. So I think that's everything somehow. I mean, I have so many more things I knit in 2024. I'll link to the blog post that I created all about what I knit in 2024 and everything I mentioned here. Now, if you have any questions, let me know. If there's anything you'd love to hear me talk about, let me know here. I'm hoping to get a little more regular and consistent with this. And I'm even making a little nook in my house with a cute wallpaper where I will be filming in the future, and I'm really excited about that. It's going to be like my little knitting nook. So I think that's everything. Thank you so much for being with me. It was really fun to share all the things I have made, the new yarns, the projects I'm working on with you. Have an awesome day. Bye.